It's your third campaign. So why are you deserving of a job promotion going into an election campaign with such weakened support?
Virtually all the parties launched their official campaign today. Pierre did it a couple weeks earlier. But Jagmeet, who's set to lose his own seat if you do look at the polls, which is funny, launched his campaign today to the dozen or so people that were in attendance.
Do we know where he launched it from? Was it here in Hamilton or was it out in BC?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't care.
It's not important.
I don't care where it was. There wasn't many people. So we're not going to, we're only going to show you basically one bit. It's a couple of questions by somebody from the National Post. And they weren't very nice questions either. And she had the first questions after his little talk. So here you go.
Merci, merci, merci. Merci, merci. Merci. Thank you. Thanks so much. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. On va passer maintenant à la période de questions. We'll now take the media questions. We'll go with one question, one follow-up. Please tell me your name and your media.
Hi, I'm Christy Kirkup with the Globe and Mail. Mr. Singh, with all due respect, you are the most experienced federal leader, but you're going into this campaign considered the underdog. How is that possible?
Sorry, it was Globe and Mail. You are the most experienced leader because you've run in 3 elections, but you're the underdog. How is that possible?
So I don't understand what makes him the most experienced leader, that as leader he's had 3 elections?
Correct.
Because Pierre Poilievre's been in government for 20 years, roughly.
He's the most experienced leader.
Okay, so, well, I mean, he's not leader of the official opposition. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that premise. I kind of see where she was going, but I don't necessarily agree.
It's a trap question.
Maybe I'm being nitpicky, but I don't like the way it was worded.
Well, let me reword the question. You've done such a terrible job the last 3 years since getting leadership of your party. You keep losing seats in every election. How is that possible?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
How is that possible? And he says, hold my welfare. Like, that's what he said. It was great. He's like, how is that possible, Jagmeet? Anyway, here we go.
I'm very familiar and comfortable being an underdog. I think a lot of Canadians can relate to that. But what I'm looking at right now is I'm seeing a country where there's a lot of workers who are worried about losing their jobs. I hear people worried about the cost of living getting more expensive. And I know that folks like Pierre Poilievre and Mark Carney would want nothing better than for the New Democrats to disappear. For us not to point out the fact that Mark Carney's first steps was to bring in a tax cut for millionaires at a time when he's promising also his plan is to cut services for people. And that Pierre Poilievre shows up to a factory where workers had just lost their job. And he proposes a tax cut for big business and nothing for those workers who lost their job. I'm sure they would want nothing other than for us to disappear and not point out those things. But news to them, we're not going anywhere. We're here and we're going to fight for people every single day.
Okay, I just want to point this out. He said, everywhere I see workers that are afraid that they're going to lose their jobs. And here I am looking at Jagmeet, looking at a worker who looks like he's afraid that he's going to lose his job.
Well, I read it somewhere today, possibly on Facebook, so maybe just take this with a grain of salt, but that there was a particular union that is encouraging its members to vote conservative.
Correct.
For the first time.
Correct.
Like, that's crazy. Like, they've always been NDP, but the NDP is doing such a horrible job with its policies. Like, again, if Jagmeet had called the election this time last year, like we suggested that he should have, he could possibly be leader of the official opposition right now. But now, because he's waited, they may lose party status. Like, he has completely misread everything and mismanaged this party.
He would have been the official leader of the opposition. He would have gotten a pay raise.
Right.
And he would have upgraded to Stornoway and been able to actually live where Pierre, has been living for the last couple of years. So, yeah.
He blew it, like, big time.
Say what you want about Tom Mulcair, but at least he was able to get the party to the official opposition. Just saying.
And just as a follow-up, if I may just drill down on you. Again, it's your third campaign. So why are you deserving of a job promotion going into an election campaign with such weakened support?
So let me translate. Jagmeet, you suck as party leader. Why do you deserve to run again?
Right, because again, in terms of political strategy, this is a disaster for the NDP. They could have been the official opposition this time last year if they had called the election in March before the boundary change. But now they could lose party status. Like, this is a disaster for them.
Well, and recall what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, right? We recall that we've been saying, remember when the NDP came out and they said, "Oh, well, we'll put the confidence vote on hold and vote for worker supports if we go back to the House of Commons." Remember what we said? What we said was that the NDP are now completely irrelevant. They are in political oblivion. Nobody cares about them. So Jagmeet was trying to do the only thing that he knew how to do to try to get attention. And to try to say to Carney, "Oh yeah, let's go back to Parliament. Let's go back to Parliament." And nobody cared. Nobody even heard them. Nobody probably even took his call. So, and Elizabeth May was doing the same thing because they're in political oblivion. Elizabeth May is in danger of losing her seat. So this is what you have. And people were like, "Oh, they're going to call a deal. They're going to call a deal." And we were like, "No, they're not. They are absolutely not." And this is why. Because the NDP are dead. We put a video on it. I even put a gravestone on it, and it's like, NDP, rest in peace. The NDP's dead. He killed it.
Yeah, it was a really bad strategic move to wait. And I mean, had Jagmeet called the election back when we said he should have called it, he would have won, likely, as the official leader of the opposition. He would have gotten his pension. Canadians would not be so upset with his party as they are right now. Like, he just strategically, he's created a nightmare for himself in that party.
There has been no strategy. This is the most bizarre thing, and this is why we've been confused. Political analysts have been confused. Like, political analysts are like, I have no idea what the NDP are doing, and it sounds like the NDP didn't know either. So anyway, let's hear Jagmeet's response.
Well, we've shown Canadians who were feeling really like a lot of struggle and worries that we can deliver for them. When people were saying that we can't afford to take care of our teeth, we delivered dental care. For folks that were telling us that they couldn't afford their medication, we delivered pharmacare. We've delivered for Canadians. And I want folks to know, in this time when there are serious threats to our country, we know that the other guys aren't in it for you. They've showed you their priorities. Mark Carney spent his career making rich people richer, and he's done it profiting off of the crisis, like the housing crisis. Pierre Poilievre, like Conservatives always do, wants tax cuts for his billionaire buddies and cut services for you and your family. If you want someone that's going to fight for you, that's always going to put you and your family first, not the billionaires, not the CEOs, but you. That's us. That's New Democrats, and that's what we're going to show you every single day of this campaign.
But they don't tell you that they're going to take your own money to do it. And they're going to take the money of everybody around you. I mean, look at the people in your life, your parents, maybe your kids, brothers, sisters, family, friends, etc. And ask yourself, can they afford to pay for my dental care or my pharmacare or whatever it is I need? And the answer is probably no, because we're all strapped. Well, but this is what these social programs do. They take money from everybody. So every time that you're like, "Oh, well, I'm getting free pharmacare," you're not getting free pharmacare because the people around you are paying for it.
Well, and the other thing is, he said, "Oh, well, the people that are saying that we couldn't afford to pay for our teeth, well, we got them dental care, and the people who said we couldn't afford to pay for our medication, well, we got them pharmacare. Well, as long as those people, have diabetes, that's about it. But what about all the people who said that they can't afford a house? What did you do for them? Well, right, nothing. What about the people who said that I can't afford food? What did you do for them? Oh, right, nothing. You had a little show where you had the grocery CEOs called to committee, and that was it. That's all you did. So when you say, oh, we deliver for Canadians, Canadians know what you delivered. And when he's saying, well, these other guys put their own priorities first, hello, you're the one that was not listening to Canadians. You had a bunch of support back last spring. You should have listened to Canadians then.
Should have listened to me. They should hire me as their chief strategist.
They should have hired a box as their chief strategist. It would have been
Right.
better. So this is the thing. He didn't listen to anybody. The Liberals didn't listen to anybody. And this is where we're at. And this is why nobody cares about the NDP.